Hi everyone, my name is Brant Howard. I'm a 3D artist and I go to Fair State University for digital animation and game design, and I'm also the lead artist on RAD. Here's a tutorial on how to do some retopoing and maybe some baking. I don't know how far I'll go. So I have this sculpt that I've been working on of this character named Signa. The concept for her is by Alexis Rives. I'll leave a link to her ArtStation in the description. This is going a little slow because my computer's dying and I'm at 10 million polygons or whatever, 10 million points. So I'm gonna turn off her hands so this goes a little faster. So if you don't know what retopoling is, I don't know why you're here, but it's basically the process of taking a high poly sculpt like this and making a low poly version that you can use inside of a game, inside an engine like Unreal. So you see how there's just a lot of polygons in her torso here. This will not work in a game. This is way too many. So we're basically going to use a few different programs. Oh, I turned the hands back on. Use a few different programs to basically cut down the amount of polygons so that we can actually make a low poly version of her to bring into Unreal. So I just thought I'd start in ZBrush so that we can see what it's going to look like. So if you have your character sculpt all finished and all done, good for you. You basically want to start by obviously exporting whichever part you want to start retopoling first. So I'm just going to do her torso because it's a pretty simple piece and basically her base. So I'm just going to export this. You guys can't see the window because my computer can't do monitor sharing. So I'm exporting it as a OBJ. I gotta figure out where to put this. Let me just make a new folder. I'll be right back when I open up 3D-Coat and we start retopoling. Okay, I'm back, guys, and I have 3D-Coat open. This is what we're going to be using to retopo. You can use other programs such as 3ds Max, but this is what I was taught to use. Oh, I probably should have gone back to that. So in this opening window here, you're going to want to perform retopo or retopology, and then I don't know what the difference between these are, but I always do import reference mesh, and then find the high poly mesh that you exported from ZBrush. Open that up. It'll load. How you guys doing? Doing good? Good. Alright, so right now we have Signa's torso here. This is the high poly. I don't know if you can tell or not, but I can't really find the wireframe to show you guys. But anyway, this is the high poly. So over on the left are our tools here. There are quite a few, and it might look a little intimidating, but I at least only use like maybe two or three of these. So first of all, depending on if your mesh is symmetrical or not, you're going to want to go up to symmetry and turn that on up here and do X. You can see there's a little symmetry, little symmetry square right down the middle of her torso. So now when we start adding the topology, it's going to be symmetrical, but kinda. I'll explain the kinda in a little bit. So we're going to go to add and split, this very top tool in basic. And this is going to be our this is how we're going to start. So this is our first polygon. And there you go, you can see that it's symmetrical over there. So my tablet is working, there it goes. Okay, so we're basically going to be covering this whole entire thing with polygons. It's going to take forever. I suggest listening to some music while you're doing it so you don't go crazy, but I like it. So, oh yeah, I should explain the tools. So we're going to be using quads, and basically this lets you take an edge from an existing polygon, and you could just draw out a new polygon. Just keep going with that. So that's what we're mainly going to be using. If you feel that some points are off, you can use the brush tool here. Let's see if I can remember how to increase the size of the brush. That's right? Yeah. Okay, so control and left click, I don't remember what that is, and I think my tablet's just being wonky. Yeah, it is. So you could basically drag your vertices along. Yeah, I need to like restart my tablet driver or something because it's being weird. So basically we're going to be following all, like, you want to try to follow the form when you're doing topology so you can get some nice form in there. So I'm going to try following underneath her breast here, and this is the rib cage basically. So if another polygon would be like this, I think. It's kind of, no, that's a little too far. I can't really see the crease that well. But there's like a crease there, and then this will come down like that. So yeah, we're just building out her form. And what I was saying about the symmetry is it's not really like being completely symmetrical. So like if I take the brush here, I can pull this apart where I can't pull these apart. It's because this bit on the left here I can't interact with. This is just basically just for show. So when you bring this when we bring this into 3ds Max, I'll show you later, but you're basically gonna need to align the center vertices. Otherwise, you're when you use symmetry on it in 3ds Max, it's gonna look a little funky. So yeah, you just want to keep taking these and keep going with the form. Now, let me get the brush here. See another examples. I think those are way too far down. I could probably bring those up a little bit. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. I don't know how much up into her breasts I'm gonna do because she has like a piece of armor up there, so I don't feel like I need to, but you can if you want to. I know when I was retoppling Rad, I basically retoppled him naked. That was how we were told to sculpt their characters, was to sculpt them naked and then add clothes later. So I just retoppled him naked, so technically, yeah, there is a naked Rad model on my computer somewhere. So yeah, we're just gonna bring these polygons, connect them in the back here. Spacing is a little off, but it's working. We're working. I want to explain some of the more tools before we go on, but I want to get a good shape in here before I do that. So you guys can skip ahead if you want. This is going to be a pretty long process. I'm not going to show the entire process, but I will show when it's done. I guess I could show baking too, because baking's not that difficult depending on your program of choice. So now that we have like a ring around her body here, I didn't even notice that her head's not even, her neck isn't connected to her head. I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but usually you want to pay attention to how many polygons are going to be around the neck and then around the base of the head, so you can connect the two, because it's going to look a little bit weird if they're not connected. So obviously, like down here, there's a few more polygons. So alright, sorry about that. So we're just gonna continue on with this Retopo here, and I'll explain some more things as I'm going through it. So yeah, it's nice to try getting this symmetry right down the middle here. It's gonna be a little weird. I kind of want to get this straightened out so it's not like a curve coming down here. Although I can adjust that in 3ds Max. I'll do that for the legs and the arms, but this character doesn't really have arms if you remember the Sculpt. I like characters with no arms, they're fun. That'll be my whole portfolio. So yeah, well, I'll show another tool when I'm done getting this little bit here. Don't worry. see, it's kind of hard to find where you're going because these points are like all the way over here. So, okay, now that I'm done, well, whatever. Now I'm done with that. So if your points are looking a bit messy or a bit screwy, if you hold down shift with the brush, you're able to smooth out your points. So yeah, you can see a nice smooth bit there. I recommend this for more organic pieces, not really for hard surface stuff, because sometimes you'll want to have like that hard edge. So maybe for like around here where her rib cage is, I don't think I'll use it because I want to keep that as a hard edge. I might adjust these a little bit, but that's about it. Just to get that curve there. Like I said, I can't adjust these in 3ds Max later, or whatever 3D program you'll be using. I might be able to even collapse some of these here, so I'll take this other tool here, this delete polygons, that just lets you delete polygons. Pretty simple. You can do the same thing for edges, but I don't usually use that one. So now I've collapsed those, I could just go in and boom. I thought I'd need that many, but I honestly don't think I do. There we go. So yeah, I'm gonna keep going on this, and I'll get back to you guys when I get just a little bit farther. So, see you in a bit. Okay, so just another tool here that I forgot to mention, or I think I did, is the splits ring tool. So you see how we got the meshes poking through the geometry here. So we don't have enough edges going along here to get that detail. So we're going to use this split rings tool and cut into that. So you see we can do that. I could do it here, but I don't think I want that many polygons there just yet. So I'll keep an eye on that because I got to make sure that this all works together. So I'll be back in a little bit. Alright guys, welcome back. I just am finishing up the Retopo. Hopefully I did a speed up of that so you could at least see my process and where certain things are. I was able to get this pretty low poly for what I wanted. I don't know where it says it. 241 it looks like. Not bad at all. So I'm just gonna finish the neck here. I'm gonna do a strategy a friend showed me, which you could do this for arms and legs too. Any long pieces, just like get it from the base to the end of whatever the pieces that you're working on. If I could figure out where this is, here it is. So get that, and then just do split rings and split it up where you need it. I probably don't even need that much, but I wanna, if I want to get some nice rotations in the neck here, I'm gonna need to have a lot of polygons there, which again can be adjusted in 3ds Max, so it's not that big of a deal. Just smooth this out, but yeah. Cool. This I think it's turned out pretty well. It's a little bit there's a lot of polygons around this waist. I think I could get rid of some of them, but I think I want to keep them in case I am animating the waist for her to bend forward and backward. So I'm gonna keep those. But this part here was a little difficult. Her legs, but I don't even think I'm gonna need this because there is a section of her legs, or at least this bit is cut off and it goes into a piece of armor. Her breastplate here and her chest I probably won't need because and also these arm things and the back. A lot of her chest I probably won't need because of the armor, but I just did it anyway so you guys can see how exactly this would look. So in a second I'll bring this into 3ds Max. I probably should have mentioned how to export your Retopo. When you're done with your Retopo, you're going to want to hit the Retopo button and export. And then you will do whatever you want. I usually do FBX because I'm just used to that. So Signa, Torso, Retopo. There we go. So there you go. Also, I have had some people ask me this, so I'm just gonna do this. Get a new scene. If you save your project or your .3D file, whatever it is, if 3D-Coat responds, people always have issues trying to get back to their Retopo because it doesn't start in the Retopo mode. It starts in the painting mode because 3D-Coat is usually used for painting on your meshes, which you can usually just do in Substance. So if you're back here and you hit File, you go to Open, but let's just do Open Recent. So there she is, Signa 3D. So you get here and you're like, oh well, this isn't what I wanted. This is just painting on it. I don't want to paint on it. Well, there are these tabs up here. If you click the Retopo, boom, you're back to the Retopo menu. So just a little quick thing for you guys. Okay guys, I was having some trouble getting 3ds Max to work. It crashed like 4 times in a row. So we're gonna try this again. You guys can't see the windows. I'm trying a different recording. I'm recording the window instead of the monitor. Maybe that's it. I remember having issues with 3ds Max, so you guys won't be able to see the menu that's open here. But if you follow along with what I'm saying, hopefully you'll be able to do this too. So hit the Max button, and then you're going to want to go down and hit Import. Find that .fbx that we just exported from 3D-Coat, and hit Open. You'll hit OK to that pop-up box, and then OK to that, and then boom, we have our torso here. But it's really small because ZBrush ain't got no frames. Or ain't got no scale. So just increase that by 5,000. We're gonna go over here, reset the X form. I don't know if that'll help. I just don't want it to crash again. Collapse it, And now we have this edit poly. I usually do edit polys. I'm gonna save this because I am tired of this stupid thing crashing. So hold on a second. Yeah, let's just go Signa 3ds. I'll probably move this later. And torso. Okay, so I saved it. If it crashes, I can open it again. No problem. No big deal. Okay, so we're gonna go to the front. And you see how I said that the symmetry doesn't quite work in 3D-Coat? So we're gonna have to go in here and max. Select all of these on the edge here. And we're just gonna align them to the X over here. Boom. Now the next part, okay, it didn't crash. It usually crashed when I deselected vertex. So if you saw down here, we're gonna move the pivot so we don't mess up the retopo. So we need to move it to this number here. I just copied that and it crashed. Freaking we are back in 3ds Max. That is crash count number 5. Maybe we can do it. I saved torso. Don't worry. We got this. We got this. I know I have the number saved for the pivot. So freaking all I gotta do is align these and we don't need to even touch the copy key. We got this. Okay. So let's take this pivot, move it to the center, and we're going to, crap. What was it? Oh no! Negative 0.005. Yeah, that was it. Okay. So now we have the pivot directly in the middle. We're going to move this to the center. So there we go. Now all these points are directly in the center of the mesh. We're going to get back to, yeah, okay. So now if we do symmetry, ooh, yeah, that just killed the smoothing groups. Oh, don't worry. So sometimes the symmetry will screw up and some of the center lines will look a bit weird. The center line will look a bit weird. You can just change this threshold here. I usually put it to 001 or 0.001 and that'll fix it. I don't think I needed to do that here, but you know, it's whatever. So collapse all these. So we're going to select the element and we're just going to do a nice auto smooth on it. It looks like it just put everything to 1, which I'm pretty sure we don't need everything on 1 for this. But I'm not going to mess with smoothing groups because it's going to take a little bit. So we're just going to look at the Retopo right now. So this is pretty low poly. This is, yeah, 522 polys. That's not bad at all. I mean, I could have done a little bit higher, but I think this is fine. This is fine the way it is. You're going to times that by 2 and get the tries anyway, and this isn't where the high amount of polys are even going to be. They're probably going to be in her face and some of her armor pieces in her hands, so this isn't bad. Isn't bad. I think this is a little bit too big back here, but so yeah, that's how you retopo a sculpt and bring it into 3ds Max. So now, if you really want to make this look good, you can go in, take your square tool. I don't know what it is, and say select these. I probably wouldn't do this like this. I would get rid of half of this and then just use symmetry on it again later. So I'm gonna change these to 2 and 1. No, let's just change it to 2 for now. You see how we get that nice different smooth, and then I would just change this to 2 and 1 probably. Yeah, there you go. So you get this nice rib cage here. So I would mess around with that because this the smoothing groups on this are pretty darn ugly, I'd have to say, especially around here, because obviously when this becomes a try, it'll look nice. When you bring meshes into Engine, it'll automatically triangulate them for you, but it's recommended to triangulate them while you're exporting. So yeah, that's how you do it. I am tired of working on this video, so if I feel like continuing on with this, which I probably will do more tutorials. Sorry about that. I'll probably do more tutorials about working on this character until she's all done. But for now, this was a homework assignment, so I'm gonna get an A in my character class. Hopefully, cross your fingers. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later.